And this is one of the bone of contention in this profession. A lot of people that are in, although find later, they probably find some bit of fulfillment, but at the initial stage, they enter into this profession by way of being forced to run a course, to study a course that they never opted for. And so even while they were there, they were not happy with all they were doing. But maybe along the time, along the line where they went for teaching practice, they now began to like, oh, this looks interesting. I have been at the panel of recruitment, I mean, at different places, and I found people say, I have passion. I say, you have passion for teaching, and you went to study banking, you went to study this, you went to study this, you're an engineer. What are you doing here? If you're really, really that passionate, you should have gone for this course from the beginning. Oh, probably not attractive, to you then. Then now what is attracting you to it now? Then by accident, you just stumble, you just like chance also, or like what you do. I don't know which of the ways that you came into teaching, but you must fall under this category. Pick one of them, and you know what I mean by that. Yes, next slide. Great. I find a lot of people telling us they are teachers by choice. That's good. Good. Attributes of a good teacher. A good teacher or good teachers are strong communicators. Strong communicators. Those who know exactly what they want to say and they use the right words to deliver. They know they are taking time to study the children that they have to teach. A strong communicator is one who just come and not just talk anyhow to the students. Are taking time to do a profiling of the children and know how best to communicate with them, learning from their styles of learning and ensuring that you are able to carry them. And that's a strong communicator. A good teachers they listen well. Now listen, you cannot be a strong communicator without being a good listener, because you really need to get feedback. You need to get to listen to what the children are saying. You must be able to listen to them, hear them out. They have something to say. Then good teachers also focus on collaboration. Good teachers collaborate. Good teachers don't do I and I alone. It's only me. I know how to do it. You're the only one. Yes, you know you're a specialist, but you, in any point, anywhere, you still be able to. You need assistance. You need somebody to work with you. Good teachers are adaptable. They are everywhere and they can suit in anywhere because they are great teachers. They are good teachers. They fit in whatever situation that they find themselves. And good teachers are engaging. Good teachers are engaging. They are not just the stage on stage. Always they are having the idea that the children don't know anything. I'm only here to tell you everything. No, that's not who a good teacher is. A good teacher is engaging because knowing that the children also have an idea of what is to be taught. Good teachers show empathy. Listen, these children, they have a lot of stories and they come from different backgrounds. And it's important for us to listen and also be able to feel them. You cannot just assume. Even listen, even those that come from the well-to-do homes, they have issues, not to talk of just those in the low-cost areas. So you must put yourself in their situation to be able to teach them as a professional. Good teachers have patience. They are patient enough to listen, to be calm, to undo them, to help them out of whatever situation they are. Good teachers value real-world learning. They value real-world learning, meaning they do a lot of hands-on. They are not just theoretically based. They look for materials to make their learning real. Good teachers share best practices. They are always on the lookout for what is in vogue, professionally. They do a lot of research online. They attend trainings. They don't just look at themselves as having known everything because they are degree holders, because they have gone to the university. No, they are always on the out sharing best practices. Good teachers are lifelong learners. This is also a point that Mrs. Oni stressed earlier. Lifelong learners, always looking for new things to learn. Never fill up with what you know, because you know that every day new ideas are coming up. You're on the YouTube looking for material. You set out on your Google, you look for material. You speak to your colleagues. You are always ready to learn. Next slide. Always learning. Who is a professional teacher? The professional teacher is the status of a person who is paid to teach. Wherever we are, you are paid to teach. I don't see anybody here who is doing the charity work here. In our different schools, you've been employed, and no matter how small that amount is, you are being paid. That is a teacher. You have been trained, and then you are now being paid for the job that you have been trained for. It can also refer to teachers who represent the best in the profession and set the highest standard for best practice. That is who a professional teacher, one who represents the best, one who stands, oh God, for standard. Professional teachers stand for standards. They are there to uphold the ethical standards of the profession. Irrespective of what is happening, they know this is what teaching is about, and they are willing and ready to go all the way. Next slide. Professional framework for teaching expertise, instructing in curriculum. Professional teacher instructing curriculum. Listen, you cannot work in silo. You can't work outside the context of the school. Wherever you are teaching, whatever is a curriculum in that nation, in that state, is what you work with. Even if you are going to harmonize, you are going to fuse in something, but you must have your basis in the curriculum. You manage relationship, you provide guidance, and you also instruct in mental skill. Mental skill is operating as a higher order skill that gives room for other one. You get the children ready and set them up to be able to operate from that higher. And this has to do with your Bloom taxonomy. How do you get your lessons plan? How do you get the right words in phrasing your objective, your instructional objective? And then how do you put questions together to test the content of learning? This is what a professional teacher does. Yes, next slide. The professional teacher, being a professional means conducting yourself according to the highest standard, giving your best effort inside and out of the classroom, and building relationship based on mutual respect. That is being a professional teacher. Conduct yourself. There's a proper conduct that is expected of a professional teacher, and that starts from you as an individual. How do you see yourself? That talks about you. Who are you as a teacher? The way you see yourself, the way you comport yourself will help you. In showing forth good conduct. Next slide. Yeah. The professional teacher, as a teacher, your major aim is to ensure that you show forth learning. So if you are a teacher, you aim to be a good one, and also until you move on to be the best. And if you want to be a great teacher, make sure you act professionally. So the concept of professional teacher will be discussed under this. One, the personality and professional conduct. Two, classroom practice. And three, interpersonal relation. Yes, next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. Yes. Now, yes. Personality and professional conduct. You look and act like a true professional. Yes. Shall we see that? One of those things that you need to do when you are looking and acting as a professional teacher. Next slide, please. One, you have to project a neat and a clean look with your clothes and styling. Professional teachers dress very well. It doesn't need to be expensive. The major role of teaching is to impart knowledge, and in addition to that, you need to role model, and role model is a function of the way you look. Your clothing doesn't need to be expensive, but they need to be neat, well arranged, and you also need to be properly groomed as a professional teacher. These children get to interact and relate with you at every point in time, and so they want to get close. What kind of odor oozes out? How do you get to how do they perceive you as a very close range? Do they come close? They even want to ask you some question, and they come close, and you open your mouth. What oozes that? Check them off. Get them off from not even being able to come. This picture, this post went viral of this lady, and so many people are saying, is this a proper way to dress for a teacher? Because your responsibility also is to ensure that you are simple, you straight, and you are not distracting the children from the content of learning. Yes, you have different types of children. Some of them won't even see. Some of them are exposed by the reason of the environment that are groomed. And so every little thing can be a distraction to them. But your responsibility as a professional teacher is to ensure that your dressing does not, at any point in time, distract the children. Your hair is properly done. As men, your hair is also, properly cut. You, and ladies, you don't wear dresses that show your cleave so much that the children get to look at you, and they begin to, think outside of where they are. Men are properly dressed, ladies are properly dressed, your shirts and everything properly ironed. Doesn't need to be expensive. Next slide, please. Simple dressing, and then you also obey your dress code. Every organization have dress code. All our schools have dress code. And the next point here under personality and professional conduct is behave professionally in the public. As a professional teacher, there is a conduct that is expected of you wherever you find yourself, in the community where your school is located, in the place where you live. Everybody's looking up to you as a professional teacher, and there's a level of comportment that they are expecting from you. You have to ensure that you don't even talk about your school anyhow. Don't talk about the school where you work. If you are not satisfied with what is happening there, the best thing for you is to discuss with the management. And if you can't stand it, you are good to leave. You can go out and begin to talk bad mouth, say, things that are not right about the organization where you work. Number 3, maintain professionalism on the social media. Yes, this is where we are now. Listen, as a professional teacher, you must also be professional. In physical and also, on the social media. You are not projecting a picture, your profile picture on the Facebook is completely different from who you are, and you say that is your social media. But listen, either from your social media handle, the Facebook, the WhatsApp, the Instagram, Twitter, and the rest of them, you must still be properly projected, because this is a profession that is modeling life. You remember what Pope Francis said earlier. We are parents to these children, we nurture them, and we are to project a good image for them to be able to emulate what we're doing. A general rule is that we should properly ensure that whatever we cannot do in the classroom, we should not even do it on the social media as a professional teacher. Whatever you know that you cannot do in the classroom and in the school, let it not even appear, on the social media. Number 4, prepare thoroughly for each day of teaching. A professional teacher is always known by the level of preparation. Check your planner, check everything that you do, arrange what you have to do, let your lesson be properly planned, get your material, research enough to get enough materials to be able to buttress the point that you are trying to emphasize. Professional teachers plan thoroughly for every lesson and class. They don't just come to class like somebody who does not know what is to be done. You are taking time to plan, and you're doing a great job. You need to have your lessons planned. You need to sketch out how this is going to be delivered. This ensures that your scheme of work, your syllabus, and your content are properly covered. And because you're professional, you are not also leaving out topics because you don't like it. You find some teachers will leave out some topics because they don't like it. That's not who a professional is. Yes, number 5, punctuality. You come to work on time every day. A professional teacher is always punctual. You are not waiting. Listen, you should be in class before your children get there, no matter what. You should be ready to welcome your children. A professional teacher understands the need to start the day well. Every day, the first impression you make every morning, stands so much, and we either take the children to the next level or not. You arrive early and you get your lesson, you get your materials ready. It's not when class starts that you start looking for pen, you start looking for bottle, you start looking for no. You get yourself organized, a day before. Then number 6, you follow the procedure and the protocol expected at your school. Every school, have a guide. True professionals in any field embrace the corporate identity and values, and then they model this for all their parents and their children. In the case of teaching, that means being a team player. You're a professional, you are a team player. You are not in working isolation. You are handling a class. Even if you are subject teaching, you teach from one class to the other while other people handle your class. You work with people. You must learn to relate with people. No matter what the case is, you are not alone, and you must obey that order of teamwork in your school. Number 7, don't miss deadlines or fall behind on your grading. A professional teacher knows what is time. You don't miss deadline. There's a time for your lesson plan and notes to be ready. Fridays to be submitted, so that whosoever is your HOD or your boss take the opportunity to go through this and ensure that what you are prepared is good enough for the children. You get this, then there is a time for your questions to be ready, your examination questions. There's a time for your test questions. There's a time for your marking of the script. You don't give children assignment all through and just pile them on your table without marking. You gradually lose them because they know that you wouldn't mark it. And then you also don't do things to make you look someone who doesn't even know what he or she is doing. You are there as a professional because you are, by reason of being grounded, taking the oath. Yes, I'll take the oath of ensuring that you model life, you nurture life, and you model good example. Next slide. You must also embrace change and give new methods a chance. As a professional teacher, you cannot close up. You can't close up. There are so many new things to learn. This is where I've been doing it. Yes, I've been in this profession for over 35 years. And what I learned so many years back is not what is operational now. So if I remain there, I will not even have the opportunity of coming to talk where I am today. It's because I've taken time to keep embracing change, learning new things. You must seek new subject knowledge to share with your students. Research. You don't just close subject. This is what the scheme says, but there are basics that the children need to know in addition. Be passionate, positive, and enthusiastic about your work. You don't get to school and looking so dejected, making it look like this job, I was forced here, and it's because I couldn't get a better job. That's why I'm here. And you write it all over your face, and now the children can interpret that. Excuse me, please leave. If you can't show passion and be positive, please leave. Look for something else to do. There are a lot of small businesses you can do. Go and try and see if it is that easy. But if you are here, you are in class, excuse me, let's be enthusiastic about what we do. This is where, listen, it is beyond, it's beyond the things that you get to know as a professional. It is important for you to go beyond and above to ensure that you get things ready for your learner and they are ready. Yes, you have to share knowledge with others. As a professional teacher, share knowledge. The years of only me knows this, or should be the only one to do it, is long past. You need to share knowledge. As a primary school teacher, as a secondary school, if you are a secondary school teacher and you are teaching biology, and you only know what you are doing, and you are doing so well, and your children are making it, and your children all have A's, and in English, maths, and all other subjects they have F, can they go anywhere? They can't go anywhere. So you really need to share your ideas, share your strategies and your tips, so that others can, because these children need a combination of subjects, great for them to be able to proceed in life. Same thing happens even at the primary. They need to move from one level to the other with all content in place. Then number 12, service from students. As a professional teachers, you please don't even encourage them doing something for you for whatever. Those days when we were growing up, our teachers also used to come to school with melon and the rest of them, and they expect a student to help them out. It doesn't work any longer. These children are here for you to nurture, except it is a skill that you want them to acquire for entrepreneurship. If not, and it shouldn't even be your private thing, it should be something that is provided by school. Then you should also inculcate intrinsic motivation to boost academic rigor. These children need you to really motivate them. They need you to help them to come to terms with the fact that they are doing well. Encourage them in the things that they are doing. Motivate them. A lot of ways you can. Give them a thumbs up, give them stars, give them a lot of things. High five, clap for them, roll it up, and do a lot of, so that they get to know that you already appreciate their effort. You must create a purpose. You must remove intimidation from your class when you're motivating them. You must give them feedback. Now listen, if you give them something to do and you have to score them, can you please tell them why you are scoring them that mark? Can you let them know why they are not getting 5-5? That's the feedback. When you give them that feedback, it helps them in their next planning. It helps them in their next assignment. It helps them in their next classwork. Promote positive behavior. When any student in class behaves well, act in a positive manner. Ensure that you are able to appreciate this, and so that it will be an encouragement to others. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. We are done with. Next slide. Next one. Okay, yes. There is this case of Miss Sarah. We just wrap up the personality and the professional conduct. This is this case study. Say Miss Sarah is in the habit of taking phone calls, personal phone calls in front of the pupils and answering as cell phones in the meetings. The school head had warned her several times to no avail. Then one day she was sacked. Let's have your reaction. What's your reaction to this? Severally, is it right to have phone, to use your phone in class, to attend your personal calls, even when it's official? When you're in school, there should be an official line. Yes, let's hear. Yes, yes. Can I get your response from the chat room? Exactly. Yes, she was sacked. Not right. Somebody said it was not right for Miss Sarah to be sacked, having been warned severally for using the phone. Yes, someone else.
Hello from Aga.
Hello. Yes. Write whatever is your response in the chat box. Is it right for that teacher? It was a good sack. No, not right to receive calls. Okay, not right to receive call. Great. Yes. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. So it wasn't right. Brilliant. Somebody said, I don't take my slide to the classroom. Brilliant. Yes. The next part, the second part of being a professional teacher is the classroom practices. Run a classroom like a pro, like a professional. And to run a classroom like a professional means you have classroom management. And classroom management is ways of organizing the resources, the pupils, and helpers so that the teaching and the learning can proceed in an efficient and safe manner. That is what classroom management is. You have your materials, you have your resources, you have the children, you have activities planned, and you are willing to take them from level to level. Next slide. Run a classroom like a professional. It is not proper to pick phone in class. Thank you. Yes, next slide. Yes. Running your classroom like a professional entails that you take charge of your classroom. Establish class rules. Listen to your students. Listen to your pupils. Listen to your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. Let there be rules. Raise your hands if you have something to say. Follow direction. Do your best. Do you know that these rules can also be jointly formed by the students and the teacher? You don't need to go and import it somewhere. Sit down in class and let them know this is our class. How do we want our class to be run? How do we want our class to be managed? Now, and they begin to write all of this out on the board. And thereafter, get someone then to type it. They will type it out for you. Print it out, laminate it, and then you can have it pasted in the classroom and becomes a guide. And then it's also part of taking charge of your classmates to respect your students and demand the same respect from them. Clearly lay out your rules for classroom behavior and enforce them consistently. Don't shout or lose your cool. Remain calm. That's part of being emotionally strong. That regulating your emotion. Listen, there will always be occasion for students to get you really, out of, really angry, but you must really calm down. Like that boy told the mom, mommy, calm down, be calming down. So teachers, you really need to calm down. You must calm down to be able to give out, the necessary correction that is required. Then
Yes,
two,
sir.
there, you have to put safety first. As a professional teacher, no matter what class you are taking, as a professional teacher, either you are teaching them in the
I need
sciences,
someone.
you are taking PHE, you are taking anything, ensure that safety is first. You want to have your physical education, ensure that you get to the field, pick things that are that are not right. Tell the cleaner to go ensure that the place is safe. There are no sharp objects, there are no pointed objects. All the material that you need, let them be there. You're in the classroom, you are also there. What you need, all the things that you need for your hands-on activities, you have provided them. You are not just, and when you are making provision for all of this, you also have these things that these children will use. Will it be injurious to them? Whatever you know that is not right, it's not professional for you as a teacher to plan a lesson and bring material that's going to injure the children. Next slide.
Sorry, ma'am, we have 5 minutes more.
Wow. Next slide. Make excellence your goal. Take responsibility for the children, for the student results. Now, if anything happens as a professional teacher, you must take responsibility. Don't shift blame. Take responsibility. Yes, next slide. You have all of them in the slide. Then simplify your lesson to focus on the key component. Get materials ready. Do a lot of hands-on activity. Get enough materials and ensure that the children have the opportunity of interacting with all of this. Next slide. Keep your students' attention through enthusiasm and self-awareness. Get them engaged. Let your passion shine in the classroom, and this will rub off on your students. Get them ready and get materials ready and ensure that you engage them. Next slide. Yes, we will take this later. Can we go to the next slide because of time? This is what a parent sees about being a professional teacher. The child came in. Then the third one is interpersonal relation, connecting with students, parents, and colleagues. Next slide. You have to inspire others' trust from the start. Next slide. You have to inspire others' trust right from the beginning. As a professional teacher, ensure that you create trust by inspiring it. Create a good first impression from the first day of academics, and ensure that you're able to carry the children along. And also, you treat your students with respect. Show respect. Don't mishandle them. Don't bully them. Don't threaten them. Then model respectful behavior for your students. What you see, what they see is what they do. Mr. Kolawole said, you cannot give what you don't have. If you are not respectful, then you can't get respect. To the smallest child in the preschool, in crèche, they deserve to be respected. Model that kind of respect. Take interest in every child. No, don't look at any child because of the last year's end of session and a parent bought you a gift and another didn't buy you anything. That's not a yardstick for you to undo the children. In every child's interest is important. Ensure that their learning is key and you take them through. Next slide. Maintain confidentiality. Whatever is it that you know about every child must be confidential. You cannot go and begin to talk about it everywhere. If it's any case, the only person you can't get to discuss with is the management. And it is for them to be able to find a way to resolve or to assist. It's not an issue of, hey, can you see? Because whatever you see in a child is exactly what the parents are. When you talk about a child, you are talking about the parents. Then 6, you have to also consult parents and welcome their involvement. Parent involvement is critical and very crucial in educating the children, and it's important for us to ensure that we include them. Number 7, next slide. Support your colleagues and the school. Support your colleagues and the school management. You are in school to do what you have to do, and you are not alone. You have to work as a team and ensure what you do is all to the benefit of the organization. And in conclusion, the professional teacher is a building block for all other profession. Teaching profession is a building block for all other professions. All other professions rely on teaching. A teacher must pay attention when building the self-esteem of each child and every student while transferring the knowledge and experience to this student. It's important. The self-esteem of the child is critical. And you first, as a person, as a teacher, you must first build your first self-esteem. You must be self-aware. You must be a great listener. You must ensure that you challenge them. You don't just, they don't just come to school and they don't experience learning. It's important for you to create situation for them to experience learning. You must be original and be trustworthy with your students. And most important, you must teach them the basis of life and provide experiences for them. Ensure that you get them ready, that whatever situation that presents itself, they are willing and ready, to be a problem solver. Thank you for this. You're going to get the slide. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Dideolu. That was a very insightful one. At least our one of our take homes from your session is that the social media is a classroom of a teacher also. So to take us further into we need to clap for Mrs. Dideolu. I think we should give her the rolling clap again. So let's roll and clap for her. We all need to do that.
Roll, let's go. You are great.
Okay, so you have different versions. We have roll and clap. We have
Roll it, you are great. Bravo.
Okay, right. So, thank you so much for that insightful session.